Hello, LinkedIn land. I'm Rosalind Palmer. I'm a transformational therapist and coach, and I'm one of 4 presenters for a podcast, which you might not have come across, but we think after this you will want to, called Life Alchemy. And one of my co-presenters is Chris Cook. Hello, Chris.
Hello there. I'm a speaker and a coach, and now I'm working with people to help them reach their targets and their goals and get more out of life. Really excited about this. What are we talking about today then? Upper limits.
We are. So we're literally going to give you a sneak preview of what we're going to be recording next week with our 2 other presenters, Sarah and Hema. And what's really brilliant about Life Alchemy is we are all coaches, and we all work in different ways and different fields as coaches. But we found that we were having these fantastic conversations about really important topics that we were dealing with in our lives and with our clients. And so the 4 of us come together and bring some quite different perspectives about issues. So next week, we're talking about upper limits. And an upper limit is almost a kind of self-imposed glass ceiling, if you like, because I think it's very true. And I see this over and over again with my high-performing CEOs and business clients, that we're probably more afraid of success than we are of failure.
That's so interesting, because I actually mentioned this in one of my talks not so long ago in front of a crowd, and I got a bit of a strange response. Instead of them, I thought they would really, really engage with that bit and be curious, and quite a few of them kind of frowned. But that's my experience as well. I don't know about yours, Ros, but what do you think are the triggers for that kind of not wanting to go for the upper limit? Why do people
It was 100% my experience. So in the 90s, when I had my PR company and I was doing quite well in the kind of year 3 and working the 80-hour weeks and living, eating and breathing it, it was my baby and we were going to make this a real success. I had the good sense to realize that I was kind of self-sabotaging, to be honest. And it was at that time that I actually went for hypnotherapy, because as you know, I'm trained in hypnotherapy, because I couldn't put my finger on it, Chris. I was like, what's going on? I want this. I'm making my parents proud. We're doing well. I'm starting to gain some benefit from it, a nice house and some of the trappings of success. And I feel great. And it's an exciting, I was in PR in London, and it's an exciting world. Why am I putting the brakes on? What am I doing? And it took having that hypnotherapy for me to realize that you live what you learn and you learn what you live. And so with me, I was a grocer's daughter. I'd literally lived above the shop in my early years. And my dad did well, but he paid a really high price for it with his health. He always had a migraine on a Sunday, and he'd had quite a few hernias, etc. And so subconsciously, there was something going on in my head going, you'll pay for this with your health. And also, I think there was, because I came from Nottingham, I went to a comprehensive school. I think there was a fear of, if I'm super successful, the people I know won't like or relate to me anymore.
I think you're spot on. Mother Teresa's got a great line in one of her quotes. I've written it down, actually. What did she say? She said, you'll make some false friends and some true enemies if you're successful. I love that line. You just hit the nail on the head. Do you think can't be the sole factor, but do you think it's that, and the fact that, because it was for me, was if I'm this successful, I'm going to have to keep this momentum up. If I reach that level, I'm going to have to keep this pace up.
I think there is and if you look at actors and actresses and also, some business people, you're kind of only as good as your last success. And so every time you go up and up, it's almost like, well, I've got to be even better now. And that's all to do with, have you reached a point in your life where, when is enough as well? When is enough? So I think it's, wearing my therapy hat, I think it's to do with lots of things, but I think it's a real phenomenon. And I think that it's interesting that you said that even in your audience, people are literally bristling because I'll hear people go, I'm procrastinating, I'm really afraid to fail. It's probably quite hard when you go, no, actually, I think you're really afraid to succeed.
I totally agree, and I think it's the elusive obvious. I think it's the elusive obvious in the whole chain. And like I said, when I said it, I wasn't expecting that response. I was expecting people to be curious. And instead, they were like, no, it's definitely not that. They had that look on the face. But I'm pretty certain it is. The more people I speak to who open out. And that's what I love about our podcast is it's just real, honest, raw conversation. And when we open up those conversations, there's always those, I don't know, I find those light bulb moments out. You know what I'm like? I'm always writing stuff down.
Well, we learn so much from each other, don't we? I mean, literally, if nobody listened, and we really do hope you do listen. We know people do because we get some really great feedback. We all learn from each other. You know, we're managers, we're dealing with our people. You learn from your clients, you learn from your experiences. We all come together, you know, and so it's like power of four, isn't it? And we make it in a way that we not only explore it with each other, but we do give some tangible advice about how we help people with these issues. So
we've covered some cracking topics
while listening, don't we, Chris?
Yeah, we've covered some great topics. What female leadership? Your yin is about to be yang.
Oh, we love that. We love that one. Too much yang. We had boundary busters, and I think the one that got the most responses was our toxic positivity one.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest with you. And when you said that got the most traction, I was like, yeah, it kind of makes sense when I really sit back and think about it. And I know I saw myself in that whole process there. But there was another one.
Copied. Don't you remember? We got copied. Who was it? Some really big.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, some very big publication about a month after we'd done our discussion, did it as their big topic. We were like, oh, they're watching.
That's the best compliment to be copied, isn't it? As harsh as it is. The geocentric mindset, I love that one. That was a great one. Really new, kind of fresh, new age. And then the most recent one, Bitter or Better, we've got some cracking episodes.
Well, and the hero's journey as well, which, you know, if people aren't familiar with, it's a great corporate tool. So again, we're taking these concepts, but we're talking about how they can work in coaching and in corporate life. So that's our little teaser. That was our teaser. So next week we will be recording the upper limits. If you've got any comments, if you're watching this on record or now live, and you got some comments, we'd love to hear them now. So that will help form our conversation next week. And I'll also post the links to all the podcasts so people can catch up.
Brilliant.
Have a great day, Chris.
Yeah, have a great day. See you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.